6:17 here on TSN 690 in Montreal. I think my voice just cracked there. Battling a sinus thing. Leave me alone. It's GamePoints on TSN 690. Dave Simon on the board. Stefano Micella joining us as well. Don't forget, we will get you the latest NFL news and notes, including the injuries, coming up very shortly. Right now, though, we have a very special guest all the way from Germany. That's not where she's originally from. She is a Canadian, and a Canadian Olympian, in fact. Joining us now on the program from Canada, a member of the Canadian women's basketball team. We are joined by Tamara Tatham. Hey, Tamara, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. Welcome back to Canada via the telephone.
Oh, thank you so much.
Now, you can also follow Tamara on Twitter as well, which is certainly a fun way to stay in touch with Olympians and athletes who are around the world. Tatham13 is the Twitter handle. She's also, of course, a UMass alum, much like Montreal Alouettes player, I believe, Brandon London, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So, Tamara, thanks so much for joining us here on the program. I know it's a little belated, but congratulations on the relative success of the Canadian women at the Olympics in the summer.
Oh, thank you so much. It was awesome. It was a great experience, and honestly, I wouldn't have traded it for anything.
Now, what was the highlight for you of that trip?
The highlight was definitely the very first game, getting out there and being on the stage and, you know, having that opportunity to fulfill a dream that so many young girls want to fulfill, you know. That was amazing, getting out there and finally playing that first game.
Tamara Tatham joining us here on the program. Now, I was able to watch most of the games of the Canadian women team, and we had, of course, your teammate Lizanne Murphy here on the show as well in the summer, and that was a lot of fun. But I have actually a complaint to your coach, and she actually appeared on the show as well. I didn't bring it up with her, though. I should have. There was a famous play in one of the games where you had a nice baseline move. You got, it was a very quick first step. In fact, the announcers were talking about that as well as part of the assets of your game. And we didn't see it a whole lot the rest of the tournament. Why is that? Why didn't we see you inside, going to the net a little more? I thought it was very effective.
I think with our offense, it's kind of like anyone can have a good day. Like, if someone's shooting well, if someone's getting to the rim well, it's kind of an offense that suits everybody, not just one person. So if it's a day where I'm getting to the rim and I'm getting the opportunities and the spots are open, I'm getting to the rim. So that's the difference. I think that's why it's not always so consistent. It's really the day-by-day games.
Now, obviously, you're over in Germany. How did that come about? Why Germany, and how are you enjoying it?
I've been in Germany now, probably 4 years now. I'm going on my fifth season out here. It's comfortable. I've been at this club for now 3 years, and I'm having an awesome time. We made it all the way to the championships last year, and, we're obviously going to try and do that again this year, hopefully win it this time. So, yeah, Germany's been kind of like a second home to me, so I like it out here. So that's why Germany.
How big is Dirk Nowitzki out there for basketball?
Oh, yeah, I think he's huge. Everyone loves Dirk. I don't really know much about him, but I know he's like probably one of the biggest things out here in Germany. Now,
in terms of the basketball culture in Germany, it's not something you really associate with Germany, and as compared to maybe some of the other basketball powerhouses around the world, the U.S., etc. How big is basketball there, and what kind of crowds do you guys get for the games?
Basketball's more, I guess it's a little more like present on the men's side. For the women's clubs, I think if you're in a small town, you get a bunch of support, a bunch of fans, a bunch of like sponsorship and all that. And because our club has been doing very well lately, we get tons of fans coming out to our games, and we made it all the way to the championship. We didn't even have enough seats for fans last season. So I mean, it's big for us, our team. I think it depends on the city and the sponsorship, I guess.
Very nice. Now, Going back to the Canadian Olympic team, I understand it's a very close-knit bunch. Having Lisanne on the show, having her coach surprise her on the show, talking about how they already missed the teammates. This was, a couple of weeks after everybody had left. Is that really the case, how it was such a close-knit team? Because we saw it on the court. You were playing with some of the best teams in the world. Unfortunately, just barely missing a couple of big upset wins. How close was that team?
Yeah, we are very close as a team. We got amazing chemistry on the floor, on and off the floor. We all try to stay in contact as much as possible. There's a few of us playing overseas. We talk from time to time. Obviously my sister is also on the team, and that's a huge part for me too. So having someone on the team that you can always turn to is great. Even if it's not just my sister, I can go to any one of my teammates. So that's amazing. And I definitely miss my teammates from that.
And then going back to some of those losses, how does a team bounce back from losing to the number 2 team in the world by a couple of points, and France as well? And there was Russia, France, some really, really tough losses. How do you regroup and get back on the court and put those behind you?
It's always about winning the day. We go out there every game. We want to win. And unfortunately, a few games we came up short, but when you play basketball, you can't dwell on what's happened the day before, the week before. It's kind of like you have to shrug it off and get ready for the next game. We don't have time to think about what happened, So it's basketball is a huge part of basketball is the mental game, and you have to be able to, shake it off and go on to the next game. If you didn't play well one game, who knows? You might play much better the next game, So
now, how does it work for Rio? Tamara, we're joined by Tamara Tatham of the Canadian women's basketball team. Do you have to qualify all over again? What is the story there? Obviously, we're many years away, but what's the process going to be?
Yeah, you do have to qualify again. Whoever wins the World Championships, which is in a couple of years, automatically goes. But other than that, every 3 years, there's a qualification. So we will possibly have another qualifier, and hopefully we could get it at the first qualifier, because this year we had to go to the second qualifier. And I think our team is getting better and better every year. And I could see us going to Rio with ease, to be honest.
Oh, I like that. Confidence. Yeah. Very good. All right. Well, the only thing you have to change, Tamara, is for them to give you the rock inside more often. How about that?
Yeah, I like that too.
All right. Well, Tamara Tatham, Tatham13 on Twitter.com. If you want to follow her there. Thank you so much. Best of luck the rest of the season, and we'll talk down the road.
Thank you so much.
All right. There you go. That's Tamara Tatham of the Canadian women's basketball team, currently playing professionally right now in Germany. It is Game Points here on TSN 690. Stefano, let's get a quick update of what's going on the scoreboard.
All right, well, Cincinnati picking off Blaine Gabbert deep in Jacksonville territory, had to settle for a field goal, so 27-10 Bengals now. Meanwhile, the Saints getting an easy chip shot, 20-yard field goal. They only trail by 4 now in Green Bay, 21-17. Washington still up 21-6 over Tampa Bay early in the third, and Miami holding on to that lead over Arizona, 13-7.
All right. And by the way, Peyton Manning once again in the red zone, 20-yard line for Oakland. He's got a 2nd and 5. And Manning already 328 yards passing today, 3 touchdowns. We'll keep you up to date. It is Game Points here on TSN 690. We'll talk some Montreal Alouettes on the other side of the break.